Hi guys. I'm just going over a my pricing generator. In today's video, I'm just going to show you about pricing. Of course, it differs per person and differs to what you have as materials in your equipment list. If you enjoy this video, definitely comment below. I will work towards having this template available so it helps you out with pricing um, and generating invoices for clients. I'm just going to give you an example of a portrait session. For a portrait session, there are a few things that I would definitely need and would require in order for me to book that session. So one of them being that I would probably need a camera. So I typically shoot with this camera here. So we're going to put that there. And as you can see, that's the price of it. But the cost of it really is about $19 just to use. I'm going to say one unit because that's how many units we're using. Now, that is only the camera body. If we're looking for the lens, say we were going to use it was just for a portrait, we're going to use this lens and we're only going to use one of them as well. And this is going to cost about $3.33 per session just to use this hardware. Now we're going to need additional items such as lights. So if we're going to have our studio, we'll have our lights, but we're probably going to need two of them. So because we need two lights to set up the scene, it's going to cost about $3.20. And then the pricing is going to come up to be $6.40. So we're going to also need two stands where it says hardware and software. I probably don't have a number listed there. And that's probably why we currently see a zero. We have our camera, we have our light set up. We would also need a SD card. And if we're going to be doing this in the studio, we're going to do studio. And it's just one unit that we're doing it for. Is everything for our hardware so far. And this is just a very basic setup. As you can see, just with a basic setup, it's going to cost us about almost $50 just to set up. Now let's get into editing. We will need a laptop and we're going to need Adobe Lightroom as well as Adobe Photoshop. We're also going to need our hard drive because that is what we're saving everything on. And again, we just need one of each of these things. And so far we have this. This is just the software that we're using. This is the hard drive and the device that we have it saved on. Let's use our monitor here. We're going to just do that. So for our hardware and our software so far, we have these items. And it's going to cost us about $50 just to operate using our hardware and our software. Now, of course, we do need to deliver our images to our clients, and we do use a online file transfer. We also need to have our website for a portrait session. It's going to cost us already $57. Okay, just to have our hardware and our software. Now, if our photography session, we definitely need to have a photographer, and that is a labor in itself, and an editor for our images. Now, if we are doing a session, say it's a 1 hour session, we're going to say it's for 1 hour. And then for the editing, most times you're going to edit about anywhere from 1 to 5 pictures. Let's say this client is requesting for 5 pictures. Each picture takes about an hour to process and do. Okay. But of course, now, even though we're doing photography for 1 active hour, we do need to include our setup and our teardown. And that is about an hour each. So really, it becomes 3 hours of work that we're doing. So as you can see with our hardware and our software, and then adding in our labor, the pricing for us for 1 actual active hour of photography session bumps up to $232. If we're doing this in our studio, we're not traveling anywhere, so we don't necessarily have to worry about that. But we do have an additional cost. Sorry. Yes, we do have an additional cost. We will be using a backdrop. So if we're going to have a white backdrop, the white backdrop's going to cost this. I'm going to press one because there's one number. So this session for 1 hour is going to bring us to about $255.15. And this is not including tax yet. Now, of course, our sales tax here in Canada, and Ontario specifically, is 13%. So once we add the sales tax to it, our price now comes up to $288.32. And of course, the tax is about $33.17. Hardware is about 57. The labor itself is 175, and the material cost is going to be $23. So in total, so far, it is about $288.32. One thing we did forget is our insurance. I do believe insurance is in here as well. Insurance is not included in here, but as you can see, the price now is $288.89. And this is just pricing out for 1 hour of active photography work as well as 5 edited images. So I just want to show why the pricing for photography um, can be starting at a rate as this. And when people do ask, why is your price so expensive? We do have to be mindful of the fact that there are different pricing for equipment, for usage of items, for the studio cost. All these factors do play a part, as well as the tax include time you're booking your photographer, your local photographer, definitely be mindful for their asking price. This is why the numbers are the way that they are. And of course, if we wanted to decide to change some of these items, so like example, if our client wanted to have 10 images instead, obviously our number jumps up to about $401 because about 10 images is about 10 hours of work. If you enjoyed this video, definitely comment below. And if you're interested in more videos like this that help entrepreneurs as well as photographers and videographers about the business side of photography and videography and creative endeavors, definitely comment below and I will do my best to upload some more.